GM, everybody. It's your man, Professor Adam. My therapist says that I need to reduce my stress level. So, I'm going to try and do this entire stream in ASMR format. Let's see if I can make it the whole way through. Alright, let's start off with the CBBI. Full cycle valuation. Everything looks pretty good so far. I actually have some new indicators in here for you. Got some from check on chain, which is going to be pretty good. Alright. How's the volume? Can everybody hear me? Alright. Old and young net supply. Net unrealized profit and loss. This indicator looks pretty good for DCAing, as you can see. We've got some new ones here for you. Check it out. So check on chain. Got this one here. We've got a couple of extra ones. Bitcoin binary spending indicator. This one's where the whales are buying and selling. Well, not buying, but selling. So you can use this one to exit your leveraged positions at the top of the market. I'm going to be incorporating that one. Now this is a better short-term holder MVRV indicator than the ones we've been using on CryptoQuant. This one here, you can clearly see they've marked extreme deviations from the trend in red, marking excellent points to exit out of the market at the top, and also in green for extreme deviations in the negative, so you can enter the market at maximum valuation. We also have net realized profit and loss momentum, which looks to be a more sensitive application of the short-term MVRV. So you can see here that it's clearly marking areas where you can enter the market at high valuations, although it seems to offer many false positives on the way up for points to sell. So I would use this indicator with extreme caution. Now, the difficulty regression model. This one looks fucking awesome. For full cycle valuation, you can clearly see that even in bear market deviations like we had in late 2021, it still marked a cycle top with extreme accuracy. I love to see this. This almost has negative alpha decay, which means it's actually becoming more accurate over time. It's good shit. And we have this one here, which is something that I haven't really seen before, which is the Bitcoin AVIF gradient oscillator, showing that we actually have a form of LTBI style momentum indication that we can use. It's fucking awesome. However, it's a bit laggy. I have noticed that in certain areas, it doesn't provide a very good quality signal. Like over here, for example, if you pull up BTC price. Hold on, I fucked it up. You can clearly see down here where this indicator was representing a sell signal. It was already at the bottom of the market. So don't be fooled by how this indicator looks at the headline level. You're going to need to be more concerned with the accuracy of this when you get whips, like in choppy, high time frame market conditions like so. Also, it doesn't appear to give very fast exit signals when you have a decline in the market. However, for classifying large up moves like so, this seems to be very valuable. That is a market condition where this indicator seems to work very well. So, we have the final one, which is the AVIV ratio indicator. Everyone should be used to this one by now. Now, let's fuck these off. And, by the way, if you want any of these indicators, all you have to do is go to check on chain and hit the enter key, and it will take you to the main index page where you can get all of these different indicators if you want the links to them. Right. You can't hear what I'm saying. I'm just becoming a crypto influencer. Alright. What's the Can you hear me or not? All right, too many people are having trouble listening to me, so I guess I'll talk in my normal presenter voice. Didn't make the whole stream. Oh well. All right, fine, whatever. Let's go into the regular programming, and we will look at the crypto quant dashboard as we normally do, moving forwards. So, I'll allow my rage to get the better of me later on in the stream. And now, of course, my platform's frozen. Right, so seems like prices converged with realized price, short-term holder profit and loss, which is all right, except this moving average is still declining slightly. So we will be crossing above that maybe in another week or two. Like I've been telling you in the previous streams, still need to wait a little bit longer before this thing exits the period where I would consider the consolidation to be complete. This can also be reflected in the inter-exchange flow pulse indicator, which, as you will see, is still kind of moving sideways, as the moving average for it is also moving sideways. So there is still a little bit of consolidation left to go. That's why when I look at this chart here, I've been telling you that perhaps things are going to go sideways a little bit longer. Now, this, to me, especially in a condition where we have rising Fed liquidity and Chinese stimulus coming in mid-February, that doesn't this look like a bear trap to you? Where you have somebody saying, oh, well, you know, there's maybe a moving average or something that's gone like this, and now you have what appears to be an underside retest of whatever the fuck this is, obviously confirming whatever bear bias theses that you have, saying that it's going to go like this and then decline into oblivion. Oh, Adam, why don't I sell now and buy back lower? Because you'll be listening to all the FUD on Twitter and every single other social media page calling for some sort of doomer recession event, when in reality, money printing is the only driver that matters. And over the next month or two, at least, there will be bullish catalysts. I had somebody come to me yesterday and say, hey, Adam, what about liquidity? Like, can't we put that into our LTPIs like as a negative score or something over the next like month or two? Motherfucker, in the immediate coincident short term and over the very long term, it's going to be bullish. There only is going to be a temporary decline in Fed liquidity. And this isn't even to say whether global liquidity is going to decline either. By the time we get to that part, there may be an update a couple of months into the future, and then the ECB begins to print. We can't make these assumptions too far in advance. I don't think it would be appropriate. So don't get too caught up in trying to systemize the air gap and score it somehow. I don't believe it would be worth your time. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about, which is liquidity that is coming mid-February, which now, at the time of recording, is even closer than it was yesterday or the day before that. I highly doubt that, considering there's going to be a strong bullish catalyst within this zone, that you will see cryptocurrencies decline meaningfully through this zone or even go into negative realized price ratio, short-term ratio kind of zone, which is below this yellow line here, which is the reason why the yellow line is significant. It's not a TA line. It's not a trend line. It's representative of this indicator here, short-term holder realized price, profit and loss. Now, I've gone through the rest of these indicators, and I have not found anything that is really of concern. Maybe there is a little bit of concern here. The volatility signal from the 1 month realized volatility signal has triggered again. So we have that at current prices, saying that basically there is a warning that volatility is unreasonably low, which kind of makes sense considering we basically haven't really gone anywhere for a very long time. How long is that? How long is 1 month? Yeah, we've basically been in this range for a couple of months. So it's no surprise to me that we would have a volatility signal. Personally, I believe that volatility signal will resolve itself something like this, which is a very short-term whip. Actually, maybe not.
We'll still need some consolidation there. We might get some more volatility signals followed by a massive pump. Just because there is a discrete volatility signal now doesn't mean that it has to resolve itself immediately. Right? If we look at all of these volatility signals, you will see that they can cluster. They can cluster like this, or they can cluster like this. So I won't take a short-term view on that, and I won't say that that high volatility needs to happen immediately. It's not true. We could have many, many, many volatility signals before it pumps like so. Which, of course, is my bias, because that's the direction that money printing is going. Now, what about the other indicators? Is there anything else in here that I find interesting? No, not really. New money is pretty much flat. Nothing interesting there. Remember, new money really isn't interesting to us unless it reaches a 10 in either direction. And none of these additional indicators are showing me anything that I want to look at. Now, let's have a look at the Capriol charts. Now, somebody came to me, and it was quite disappointing yesterday or in the Ask Adam channel, and they were asking me whether or not I look at the Capriol charts website, which I think is retarded because it's been on every investment analysis video that we've had over the last week. The most disappointing thing was also that they had a masterclass badge. Absolutely disgraceful, in my personal opinion. But in any case, I'm glad to see this breadth 50 is quite low. It's good to see that. I'd be even happier to see that decline a little bit further. And for price, like I've mentioned, to continue going sideways for another week or two, that would give us a very strong reset. So we may actually miss. It's hard for me to know for sure if we're in a phase like this. Or a phase like this, where we just kind of go straight back down to the kind of 0.1 level. I could be slightly biased, but I believe that we are in a bullish kind of market environment. I wouldn't expect that to decline much further. I really do just expect sideways into this before upwards. I was thinking about some more consolidation. Maybe we'd have something like this, but not really. I'm too bullish. I'm too bullish. Now, additional full cycle valuation indicators or information, nothing worth speaking about there. It's all the same stuff. No update to the Centix sentiment. Multiple people brought to my attention yesterday that the observation that I made on Ethereum was not the correct date, that it was October 2022, not October 2023, wherever that was. So yes, interestingly enough, the last time that we had sentiment that high wasn't down there, but it was also a stage where it was before a pump. It was before this final FTX pump here, which is kind of weird. Like, why sentiment that high would actually precede a pump? Who knows? Maybe, actually, what would be more interesting would be to look at the ETH-BTC ratio and see whether or not that had any meaningful effect. Was it 2022? Ah, well, that's interesting. Sentiment was that high before this massive pump there. Well, short-term pump, at least. Interesting. Cool. Anyway, so ETH sentiment is slightly down, and BTC sentiment is very slightly down as well. And yesterday was basically a flat day. I don't know. I don't have any major observations to make there. Decent trader liquidation maps, nothing really to talk about there. You see, the problem with weekends as well is that, and you will learn this from Professor Michael, is that weekends are generally low volume days. There's not really much activity. The books here are pretty much symmetrical and maybe slightly downwards biased for Bitcoin. And it looks like slightly upwards biased for Solana. Wonderful. The fuck is this? Ah, yeah. Okay. And has the 30-day changed at all for Bitcoin or Ethereum? Slightly bearish for ETH with the 30-day. Okay. And we've already kind of looked at this. It hasn't changed. Would love to see a rotation from the stock market to the cryptocurrency market. Cool. All right. Use liquidity as my trigger word. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me? Don't ask me about the Bunnings hat. Are you going bald? Yes, I am going bald. I thought I overdrank when I saw this drink. Yes. Just found Prof's redacted SDCA holdings. Feels good to be fully allocated. Tatecoin, XRP, Hex. $169,000 in Tatecoin. Oh my God. Please. We're an Aussie cap. AMA, every AMA, and I'll always attend. Adam, opinions on Bunning Snags. Bunning Snags is probably good alpha because it's good value for money, mate. Although don't have them too often. Just it's a little treat. Prof Adam. If you sell BDC on valuation basis and price keeps going higher, what criteria do you use to admit your mistake and re-enter? I wouldn't say that there is a well, that it's a complicated one. Okay, so you're going to fuck this. Right, so market cycle, and you're saying when you sell on valuation and the market keeps going higher. Well, that is actually the design of it. You don't know where the market peak is, so you need to incrementally reduce your holdings. It's very difficult to know in advance where the market peak is. Nobody knows truly. You're only making the best possible choices with the data that you have on hand. So there is truly never a mistake, really, unless you could have done better with the data that you already had. So what you're going to do is you're going to be selling consistently and the market's continually going to go higher. Is this a fault of the system? No, it's designed within the system because you don't know where the market peak is going to be. So you're going to need to make multiple incremental judgments on where the market peak is. There is no sniping the market peak, right? Nobody can do this. You think that you can do it, but every cycle is different. Back in the previous cycle, in like the 2018 cycle, we thought that the Bitcoin going on the news was like the market cycle peak, and it basically was. But then when you go into the 2021 market cycle and BDC makes it on the news, BDC was making it on the news here, right? So what was the criteria then? It turns out it was fucking, what was it? Donald Trump shilling his NFT trading cards on Ethereum, Paris Hilton becoming a fucking crypto influencer, and Mark Wahlberg being employed by Crypto.com to do ads for the Super Bowl and shit. And that was the market cycle peak. Bro, the fucking next cycle peak, or the cycle peak that we're in, people are going to be planting flags on the moon. And like 10 steps earlier, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was shilling fucking Tatecoin at the Super Bowl, you all thought it was the cycle peak, but it won't be the cycle peak anymore. So first things first, you need to get the idea out of your mind that there is such thing as absolutely nailing the cycle peak, because it's not possible. So you need to incrementally reduce your holdings based upon good valuation decisions. Then, if the market continues to go up, and it continues to go up, remember, if it continues to go up way beyond where you thought it was going to go, even based off good aggregated valuation analysis, which is very fucking rare that it would continue to go up despite high aggregated valuation analysis. Even if it did, your holdings are still going to be increasing in value, and your average exit is still going to be reasonably somewhere around here, even if it kept going up. And you're still going to have some holdings, and you're never going to truly sell everything down to zero because everything's going to be continually increasing in size. Then, of course, you have the emergency exit criteria, which would be your LSI exit on your way out of the cycle, wherever that is, or maybe you even use your medium-term TPI, depending on your confidence in the market cycle or what you're seeing with liquidity. So I would be hesitant to say that there is ever truly a mistake in, and I'm speaking of a scenario where price might be grinding to infinity because of some unknown economic fuckery. Price going to infinity. Price going to infinity can only really happen on two circumstances. Either fiat is going to zero in perpetuity, which it is, but yeah. Listen, man. I honestly, I think that the way that I've explained it, I don't know how else better to explain it at the moment. If you're incrementally reducing your holdings and it continually goes up, okay, say it goes up forever. Because this is a good thought experiment, you know, and I don't have all the answers. Say aggregate valuation analysis fails, and there is some universal fuckery that nobody can fully explain or understand that causes it to go up forever. You're incrementally selling these holdings, and it continues to go up forever. Maybe you need to make yourself an agreement to yourself that if you ever reach like the final 10% of your holdings, you will not sell them, regardless of whether or not you get a false short signal or a false LTPI signal to sell your bags, and it just continually goes up. If you believe in the infinite valuation like hypothesis, and that's something that you've created in your mind and you believe in, I'm not going to say that this is entirely tinfoil hat, but I think that is a previous generation of long-term cryptocurrency investor, and I don't think it will work for you or for me either. Because ultimately, if you think about it like this, if fiat money was to stop existing, or if the design of money was to change in some way, so that it was no longer fiat, but it was asset-backed, like gold, or if there was something better than Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin is, imagine if there was something else. Bitcoin would fail to be useful. Bitcoin is only useful in a fiat monetary-based regime. Yes, there's value because of the nature of its operation and how it's sensorless and how it's like peer-to-peer. You can keep records of things and you can communicate with each other. Yeah, there's a little bit of value there. But let's be honest, the majority of that economic value from Bitcoin comes from the fact that it is a life raft against fiat debasement. If you're in the middle of the desert and you've got yourself an inflatable life raft, an inflatable life jacket as well, that you would normally use in the ocean, but you're in the middle of the desert, what fucking value does that have to you? It doesn't have any value whatsoever. In fact, it may even be a net burden. So, in my opinion, provided that we never change out of a fiat monetary-based regime, we will always use liquidity as our indication of whether or not the asset will go up or down. And if there is a contraction of the money supply rather than an expansion, then Bitcoin will become relatively worth less. It will not become entirely worthless, but it will just become worth less because its value proposition will be changing. In a regime where you have less money circulating, Bitcoin's value proposition really isn't there. So it's always going to be related back to liquidity. Something is weird. Prof. Adam not wearing his black t-shirt. Yeah, I was going to leave the house this morning, and that was an exceptionally rare circumstance. You need to drop that banger intro into the masterclass. First time seeing Adam without his infamous black shirt. Yes, now I have the secrets to the world, and I can get so rich because I understand the need indicators to tell me when to buy or sell. I'm such a hard worker. Is this Junji Ito art? That's amazing. Yeah. Look at my BTC valuation spreadsheet. Significant inputs in the... Yep. It's a lot of fucking words you've put here, mate. Yeah, I got no thoughts. Saturday night, what am I doing? Working on my RSPS system. Damn it, love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. What up, Prof? Lord Ryden. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a bro, I didn't even pick up on that reference. Good shit. Thank you, mate. Yes. Just gave me the TPI, yeah. Special Bunnings hat stream. GM. Read an article about China freeing up $140 billion into the open market for the February 5th. Is this something separate to their liquidity? No, it's the same thing. It's just a teaser. It's just a little teaser that they're kind of drip feeding to you. Is MetaMask still yes. No, MetaMask doesn't get hacked. It's fully, completely open source. It's just run by people. Anyway, GM, have you ever thought about leaving Australia and going to Dubai or Tokyo? Mate, I have been to Dubai 3 times and I've been to Tokyo once. So I didn't need to think about it. I've already been. Do you mean moving? I've traveled to a lot of places, probably not as many as I should, but were you ever in Hove and Away show? No, but I probably should get on Married at First Sight or Love Island, Australia. Adding more liquidity. Why won't the migrants stop coming to New York City? What if we gave them $53 million for free? Hey, Prof, I have a couple of mates in the Defence Force in New Zealand. They've told me that there's some big potential war possibilities coming to light. I reckon they're talking shit. Mate, war possibilities are always there. They're always there. Bro, especially when you consider, and here we go down the fucking rabbit hole. If you think of what incentivizes war for a nation, usually it's a grab for power, or politically, it's when they are faced with prospects of economic deflation of some sort, like systemic deflation, and they've got like massive demographic issues. Imagine you've got a society that's heavily biased towards men, and you need to capture some more land in order to expand your empire so that these people can survive. I don't know. Wouldn't you go to war? Like, why not, right? Maybe China will go to war in Taiwan, and they'll try and take Taiwan back, and then the Americans will get involved, and they'll send the New Zealanders there, and then I'll be conscripted into the military, and you won't hear or see from me again for fucking years. So this is another example of what might happen. Maybe I won't die, or maybe I won't retire from this job ever, but maybe I'll get conscripted by the fucking government. Maybe I won't be able to escape the country before I get conscripted. You don't know what will happen. What a hat. Yes, I know. This hat's amazing. GM Prof, can you explain the skewness of the liquidation maps? It's all explained in the liquidation map lesson.
Aussie ASMR. Fuck yeah.
Moving out of Australia. Adam, I want to state that you look rather dashing. Thank you very much, mate. Yes, moving out of Australia, I have considered moving to Dubai multiple times, and after being there multiple times, I have concluded that it is not for me, unfortunately. As much as I would love to live there, I just can't bring myself to do it, mate. I need to look at trees. I need to touch grass. Is the cycle peak when Top G buys all the Tate coin? No. Bro, the Pico top of the crypto market cycle is when the thought crosses Andrew Tate's mind for a 0.1 of a second whether or not he should shill a token. And at that point, he will immediately arrest that thought using the power of his will and annihilate it within his own mind. And nobody will ever know that such an event had occurred. But I know that within the universal construct, that is the exact moment at which the market will peak. Good day to stand off for the IA. I suppose. Anybody know Crocodile Dundee? Yes, I do. How much do I bench? I don't know. Actually, I haven't benched. I haven't done like a heavy bench for a while. Can we get an update on the SDAC? Mate, it's always up to date. It's always up to date. Unless there's a change, it's up to date. Fuckers. Bicep cam looking nice. Good shit. Screen. I know. Prof Adam, do you truly like being incredibly busy? No. No, I don't like being busy at all. Mate, I have almost got like, I've got zen levels of like enjoying just sitting around not doing anything. I love sitting around doing fucking nothing, man. I love wasting my time playing video games as much as the next person. I love all of the activities that are bad for me, just the same way that you do. I'm afraid of failure more than I enjoy the pleasure of procrastination. How does the quality of life compare when you have a few extra hours to meditate, play chess, race, and shoot? I wouldn't know, because every time that I've done these things consistently, my work, well, maybe not play chess and meditate. Meditate is definitely a positive sum activity. Playing chess usually cuts into my work time. Yeah, racing and shooting, that's also tied in with travel. I don't know. It's fun doing fun things, but yeah. Okay. Okay, a coffee flavored cigar? Aroma infused. Okay, cool. Sounds really nice, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure, why not? Yeah, that's fine. Is Bunnings the base pro shop of Australia? No, Bunnings is a hardware store in Australia. So they sell like tools and like outdoor like home improvement equipment and stuff. UK firefighter. Bro, this is a fire hose type of stuff. You are drinking from a fire hose coming into this campus. Does the hat stay on? The hat's not coming off, mate. Move to Canada and be my neighbor. Pong, it would be my pleasure. You know how much I'm a fan of Canada and Canadians, especially you. Bicep cam. Good shit. What about the last 3 links? Resend. Yeah, I've already heard of the other ones. Thank you for the fees one that you did, but the other ones I'd already heard of. Did you have a DJ in this hat? No. Can you DJ for us in the hat? No, you probably never seen me DJ during my time here in the real world. The EU, in the EU, CBDCs are creeping closer and closer. Apparently, cash have had a significant impact on global warming. Banks are warned to prepare to they'll tell you everything is connected to fucking global warming, and you'll believe it. Within the normie mind, they'll tell you anal probing will help fix global warming. And people will believe it, like unironically. This is the destiny. This is how they brainwash you. No, you fucking idiot. What the fuck do you mean fiat is going sooner or later? No. You are confusing the physical dollar notes for what actually constitutes currency. The tokens that the fucking government give you in digital or physical form is called fiat money because it's backed off nothing. Non-fiat asset or commodity backed money is like the same dollars, digital or paper or otherwise, that were provided to the citizens of the United States during the gold standard era, where the dollar notes were actually backed by redeemable gold. You could go to like the Fed or your bank and redeem gold for your dollars, right? That's what gave them value. Nowadays, the trust on the digital or physical cash is based on trust alone. So don't get these confused, mate. Fuck whether it's physical or digital, bro, it's going to be digital in the future. Like whatever, like physical cash is probably going to be a thing of the past, but it's always going to be fiat. Unless you can find a way of overthrowing all governments around the world at the exact same time. Shout out solar flare. It's all fiat, mate, and it's going to stay that way forever. So get your terms correct. Adam, I'm going to India tomorrow. I'll book you a ticket to go with me, and we can eat all the curry and street food there is. Anal probing is crazy, mate. I will probably never go to India. Like all the TikToks and Instagram reels I've seen of the food preparation over there, mate, you can't get me to go over there, mate. Not a fucking chance. Do you read or follow any principles of Stoicism and the greats? Yes, I have a great appreciation for Stoic philosophy. Mainly the one that's my favorite is I'll probably butcher it. There is no event or there is no fucking circumstances except for our reaction to them. Basically to say, you decide what a circumstance is, and you can just decide what it's like, okay? You crash your car. It's good or bad? It depends entirely on what you decide whether it is. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to get a new car, or maybe you learnt a valuable lesson that exceeds the value of the car that you just totaled. Most people would look at that vehicle and go, oh no, I just totaled my car. This is a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. You can decide anytime. It's like Tate says, and Tate teaches us this as well. Suffering is the way forwards, and it always has been. Look at pain as the best possible thing that can happen to you. When somebody insults you genuinely, or if you get hurt, you learn something like a very strong lesson, which is often improvement opportunities are very rare. One of my best friends and myself, we're very open with each other. He doesn't like self-improvement in the same way that I do, but he loves direct criticisms. And he criticizes me all the time. He is the most brutal motherfucker to me that I ever know. He keeps me grounded. He keeps me real. He calls me out on my arrogance and my cheapness and any of this other bullshit. And I love him for that. And that's like an application in one sense. It's a social sense. But if you're fighting and you get punched in the face, you learn something then as well. So there's always a good way of viewing different circumstances and deciding how you want it to be. Adam, download Chrome to superior browser. No. The more I learn, the less I think I know. Right. This me because you know why? Because the more you learn, the more gaps, the more knowledge you have, which means there's more gaps between all the knowledge. If you only know one or two things, you only have one gap. But if you know a billion things, you have a billion gaps. Do kangaroos actually randomly appear in Australia? Yes, they do. And it's weird too. Sometimes you have no idea how the kangaroos got there and they'll just appear. I was on an island once. An island. And there was a kangaroo. And I was like, how the fuck did this kangaroo get onto this island? It was an island. Kangaroos don't swim. Favorite NRL team? I don't watch Australian sport. Is it safe to disable my Mac security settings to enable the real world app? I don't know. I don't run a Mac. Good. When the real world hedge fund, fuck global warming. Bro, that's not happening till 2026 at the earliest. At which level IMC would you be considering adding to? Mate. Bro, fucking definitely not before you've graduated, bro. Because once you pass the fucking masterclass, then guess what? You get to build your SDCA strategy. So don't waste my time with this shit. And fuck Link. Oh my God. Fuck, bro. Focus on the shit that's right in front of your face. Get through the exam. Yeah. Yeah, for real. That's literally how the government will sell it to you. Hey, Prof, do you reckon drinking water from practicals and beliefs? No, bro. I only drink filtered water. I use zero water filters because they taste awesome. And apparently they're quite good at filtering out stuff. On your RSPS, do you personally use completely different indicators on each tab? What? What do you mean tab? I use a different mix depending on what the asset is. It's not the same across all of them at all. No. I feel like you would not like it here in Miami. No nice view with the mountains. Bro, I don't even... Can't tell you where I live. Let's just say I live near a beach and I don't go to the beach. I'm not a fucking... I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not like a beach type of guy. Adam, I think ETH depends on Vitalik, and I think there is a risk in this area. It's all... Bro, it's always been a risk. Yeah. On God. Alberta is okay, but Canada is not. What? You fucking bro, I don't know. Maybe British Columbia's gone to shit with all the homelessness, but it was all right when I was there. If you go to like Pitt Meadows and you get out into the Port Moody, I think. If you get out into the suburbs of Canada, it's quite nice, I've noticed. How do you focus your thoughts as a teenager? Stop using Instagram and TikTok. You fucking degenerate. Meditate as well. Remember, also, you fucks, when I say meditate, I'll notice a lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, okay, so what mantras do you use? What visualizations do you use? Mate, it's you clear your mind. The point of meditation is to think of nothing, not even to feel anything. Clear your mind. That is the only form of meditation that is useful, in my opinion, to us as individuals that are trying to increase our performance. Do not be psyoped into thinking that you need to fucking visualize or that there's mantras or shit. Clear your brain, right? Stop consuming TikTok bullshit. Stop scrolling Instagram Reels. Meditate. Actually bought a book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Great timing that you talk about it today. Yeah. Fuck Quebec. Thank God. Everybody take a moment to thank God that they were not born French. Or that they don't speak French. Praise the Lord. Shout out to all my French Canadians. GM Prof, you think CBDCs are going to be really established? Mate, they're coming. You don't have it unless there is some sort of massive political shift. The CBDCs are coming. Yes, it is absolute control. Yes, you should be losing sleep. And then, man, I want to leave. Even the Quebecians want to leave Quebec. Shout out, Soul. Kangaroo Jack, hairdresser. PS, during this stage of the bull run, how far down the market cap ladder should we be performing asset selection? I think there's a very naive and one-dimensional view of how to select assets. You can... Fuck it, I'm not even going to answer that. You got there because he was top G guru. I know kangaroos can't swim, but how they're so jacked. Bro, their testosterone levels are fucking crazy. What does kangaroo taste like? It tastes like steak, except with less inherent flavor, and it's a little bit more chewy, but it's very lean. It's like got the leanness of chicken breast, but it tastes like beef, but just with less like umami kind of beefy flavor. It's quite nice. It tastes like if XRP had a flavor, that's what I imagine kangaroo would taste like. Kangaroo meat is best marinated for a very long time, so it absorbs some flavors. Anywhere in Karen that's not a city is beautiful. Yep. Kind of interaction did you have with the CEO of CryptoQuant? I told him to join the real world like the rest of the plebs, and he said, okay. And then he had difficulty understanding how to follow a link. So it was a very interesting interaction. By tabs are referring to some... Yeah. I'm in. I'm seeing meditations. Me songing to Amazon to get a piece of his screaming voice. Yeah. What else? CBDCs. Google. Central bank digital currencies, the ultimate final form of monetary control. From their governments to the slaves. I'm from Quebec, and I have to say I hate being from Quebec. At least you're honest, my G. Why does everyone keep talking about CBDCs? Can you explain the dangers? Sorry for my naivety. Mate. Okay. You go to the store and you go to buy yourself a fucking, I don't know, a can of Pepsi Max. And sorry, you've reached your fucking Pepsi Max limit for this month based upon your social credit score. You need to upload a TikTok of you dancing and saying, trust the government to get your TikTok, to get your fucking social credit score up high enough so that you can buy that can of Pepsi Max. Welcome to the future. Hi, Prof. Thanks for the explanation. I feel insulted. French is so sexy. Actually pulled up my Oz girlfriend with my beautiful accent. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe it. Game is game, man. I can't be mad. Come over here and steal our fucking women. Or either she was over there, in which case you can have a good girls don't travel. Just kidding. Shouldn't be so misogynistic or else I'll start to get canceled in a minute. Ever had a flake or croc? Yep, had flake. It's not so bad. Never had croc. Hi, Prof. Thanks for the explanation the other day about why the bank needed to see where my money was going. I complied with them, and now they unblocked the account. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, but that's just the game, bro. It doesn't matter whether or not you give them the information or not. The information exists, so you may as well just do it. You ate kangaroo? Honestly, thank the Lord that I'm not French. I hate the French. Yeah. Get as far away from Trudeau as possible. Communism, but without potatoes. Good way of describing it. Dear Professor, great job designing the masterclass final. It has humbled me, and I'm enjoying the process. Good. Canada, beautiful. I'm not from Quebec, but I confirm I hate Quebec. Yeah, Adam, couldn't the rich just hire a bunch of French people to do the TikTok dances and give us their Pepsi allocation? Yes! Yeah, now we're talking. I'm going to hire a bunch of French people to do my TikTok dances for me. Now we're talking. Again, yet another reason why you should get rich. Crypto cabinet, that is probably the best application of your chess genius that I've ever seen. And there's been a lot of instances of your chess genius. Yeah. When I was in Australia, I ate stingray there. It is common. It's fucking nasty. Adam, do you really sell and buy coins every day at the same spot? Aren't selling and buying fees detrimental? What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck do you mean buy and sell coins every day at the same spot? Mate, where did you get that idea from? What type of delusional fucking psychotic hallucinations have you been having that made you believe that I'm selling and rebuying all of my assets every day? This has to be a trap. I have to have fallen for the bait. There's no way this can be a real question. This has to be bait. What's Quebec? Okay, guys, that looks like all. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed your time with me. If you did, please help out your fellow students. Love you all, and I will see you bright and early Monday tomorrow for more investing analysis, because we have no days off. The game never ends, right? If you want to be blessed by fate, you need to work hard enough to outrun entropy. That is what we do by showing up every single day. So let's fucking get it. Let's go! Talk to you guys tomorrow. Fuck Quebec. Just kidding. Love you guys.